Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you might be taking in burning questions. This is a very special edition, likely to be the most viewed burning questions of all time because we have the Queen here. It's not her silver jubilee, no 70 years in power, but Kerryn Manning, you join us. How are you, Kez?
I'm great, thank you.
Are you excited or nervous or a little bit of a combination of both? I feel like I can't have a go. I'll get hate mail. I'll get death threats if I have a go at you the same way I have a go at Andy. So, look,
Yeah, just pick on him. That's fine.
maybe you can have a crack at me and it makes it a bit easier. I don't know. Andy, how are you, mate?
No, I'm fine. Good to be here and great to have Kez on. We know she's achieved a lot throughout her career, and obviously this is going to be one of her great highlights being on Burning Questions, I'd say.
I would say this. Would you say this is the crowning achievement?
It's got to be up there, but it's up to her. Like, obviously, it's hard show to get on. We know that, so it's taken her a while. So if she gets another crack, depends how she performs today, I suppose.
Do you want to have another little sip of water before we start? Because I know you like to stay really hydrated before BQ.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
All right, that's good. I'm just checking. I care about people. Skeeter, how are you?
Very well, thanks, Bond, and excited to have Kez on with us. I can't believe it's taken us this long. I think we have gone to grab her a few times, and she's had drives at a Thursday day meeting. So we've finally got the chance, and reception is looking fantastic there at Great Western.
Oh, it's much better than it is at Mountain.
Kez might have said no a couple of times, and then you look at the Thursday day meeting and you go, I can't see Kerryn Manning down here. Just doesn't want to go on burning questions. But this is a lovely little segue because every question of the burning questions today is sponsored by Hip Pocket Workwear and Safety, and you are wearing, we can only see your shoulders right now. It's very much a deltoid thing. Yeah, there's Hip Pocket Workwear and Safety, sponsored, a little bit of trot sponsoring as well. If you want your staff to look their very best, and we all want our staff to look their very best. I don't have any staff, but if I did, I'd want them to present themselves well. You do it with uniforms from Hip Pocket Workwear and Safety. They have you covered for clothing, protective equipment, glasses, earmuffs, whatever, and plenty more. Check out hippocketworkwear.com.au. First question, and we go straight to the Queen for this one. Does ever hold the front over short course trip, even if she softened up once she quickly finds the top? Well, I'm just assuming she finds the front for a start, so that's quite rude of me, Kez. But will you be holding the top if you do find the lead with Eva Mateo?
Yeah, look, she's won a lot of races leading, but obviously not quite this class. But a couple of times I've held the front on her, once at Ballarat and Mountain a few runs back, and she was a bit disappointing. So I do feel she's probably best with a sit. Of course, I've got to find a lead first. There's a couple. Relentless Me, I reckon, will be a little bit hard to cross this week. It is pretty quick, but she can burn the gate, as you know, and if she does find the top, it'll be a bit of a wait and see what comes up.
Worried already. I've got to change the speed map straight away. Andy, were you expecting that? I wasn't expecting that, I've got to be honest.
No, I was expecting if it sort of led quite easily, Kez would be happy to hold the top. Again, Relentless Me will come out pretty quick. Fine Art hasn't sort of shown much gate speed, but I'm sure it'll get out okay from the pole. So, yeah, just been over the short and probably a drop down in class for it. I expected if it did lead, it would probably be happy to hold the lead, but Kerryn knows a little bit more than me, so totally up to her. But again, she has to find the lead first.
Who's the one to beat, Andy?
I reckon Von Art. I know it's a big step up in class. I just think it's been savage in line in all its runs, and yeah, just keeps getting better.
Well, not now. It's going to be 3 poles, unfortunately, at very best. Bad news for Von Art. Skeeter, what are your... I mean, you can't really have any thoughts, can you? This is why we have Kerryn Manning on. She's just basically told us she's broken our dreams and our hearts at the same time. Who wins now?
Well, yeah, it's an intriguing race, small field, and I really don't know is the honest truth because I'm Often Gone. Looks a really nice mare, but adds another dimension to the race first up and even how they're going to drive it. So I was probably in agreement. So I thought if Eva Mateo can find the top comfortably, which I think she probably can with a blister and gate speed and get it easy enough, Kez might be happy to hold. But in saying that, if Relentless Me looks to do the retake, we know they like leading, so potentially that would be a handy horse to take a sit on as well. So, yeah, probably 50-50 I was slightly leaning towards holding it over the short, and she's racing in terrific form. It's a really open, even race, so it's going to be an intriguing battle early.
Are you leaving the door ajar here to possibly hold the lead here, Kez? Just keep us in the game.
Oh yeah, it's certainly a possibility. She can pull pretty hard too, so she's not that easy to hand up on sometimes. So
Now,
yeah.
Hip Pocket Workwear and Safety are sponsoring all of the questions. Because of the massive ratings of this show, we've gone back to market and we're saying what you're paying us is now, that's not our market value. So it's all Hip Pocket Workwear and Safety. But previously, Kez, we were sponsored by a couple of great fruit companies, and we like to know from our new guests what their favourite fruits are. Jeff Webb's took it to a new level last week with nectarines, whatever they are. Apparently, they're $25 to go at the moment. What's your favourite? I see you as an apple girl personally.
Apple's the second. Bananas. Bit fussy though. It's got to be not too ripe and not overripe. It's just got to be just right, like Goldilocks.
Kez just at Woolies just spending 45 minutes just picking up all the bananas. You can get this. Yeah. All right, question 2. I'll start with you, Andy. Can Crescent pinch a march at start on the Queen and Mates, or do the big three all go back and trust their epic pace? We talk about Adele, Queen Elida, and Aldebaran Crescent. Will they press the button with Aldebaran Crescent, knowing that maybe that's the little chance of creating a margin between her and Queen Elida?
Yeah, no, it's a tricky one. Obviously, she was disappointing last start out of Baron Crescent, but the fact she's in, obviously they're happy with her. She has got terrific gate speed. The 1, 2, and 3 all get out the gate quite good, so it would have to leave the gate pretty quick to cross them. You think Queen Elida will go back, and Adele will probably steady up as well and won't be used early. So I tend to think they'll go forward on out of Baron Crescent and look for the top, and hopefully out of 2 go back and hopefully get a cheap split somewhere in the run. So so I reckon I'll go forward and the other 2 will go back.
Is Peak's luck a smoky or nada?
I think we've got a little fluke and hope. I was happy with her first up run. She's quite a quality mare. She probably hasn't sort of raced in this grade much, but I think she's she won't be too far away.
I love the way Andy says when I ask the question, this is a tricky one. I'm going to say it again. They're burning questions. These aren't supposed to be easy. They're all tricky. That's the point. Kez, Adele, we would imagine you would be balancing up and probably hoping that everyone goes back so you can all come together.
Yeah, although I hope they go forward and put a bit of speed on too. So
that's the other one. Yeah, that'd be good as well.
I think over the short that I think they will go forward. And like Andy said, a bit of speed inside me as well. So yeah, a bit more pace would be nice. But yeah, I think they'll press the button early on Queen Elida and have a bit of a look and hope they go mad.
We certainly didn't expect Adele to set fire to the gate. See what I did there? Set fire to the ranch. But is she going as well as she can? Because she's very good when she's right.
She is very good when she's dry. Yeah, she's been a bit tricky this time in. She's had a few little issues, but I think we got on top of her now. And the trainer error last start should have left the head check on. So it's back on now, and she qualified to get back in from her bar at Horsham Trials the other day, and was quite impressive. So yes, quietly very happy with her.
Have you ever made a trainer error, Andy?
Make them weekly or daily.
Daily. I think you're actually making one right now. Yep, we've just made one. Skeeter, what are your thoughts here? Will they be going forward a bit? We've got some really contrasting opinions here. Will Aldebaran Crescent and maybe even Queen Elida go forward at the start, or will they just go back and say, we're better than these, we're just going to swamp them late?
Yeah, look, I think it's a chance for Aldebaran Crescent to go forward. I think that's her best chance to try and beat Queen Elida. We know she's got terrific gate speed. We don't always see it. A few times I've thought they will go forward with Aldebaran Crescent and they haven't used it, but we know it is there. So over the short trip, I think they will be trying to get across to the pegs early. Queen Elida, I probably thought that she goes back and just uses her speed late. We've seen her be so impressive this campaign. I just love her. I just think she's a star. So I was out at Lil's earlier in the week, and he potentially even said maybe an Inter-Dominion later in the year for her. So they've got a massive opinion of her, and I still think she's going to be awfully hard to beat, but she probably goes back Aldebaran Crescent forward.
Oh, what's this? A 4-year-old might be attacking an Inter-Dominion. I mentioned this about Loxley Lover during the week, and I was laughed out of town. I was nearly sacked for mentioning it.
Different horses. Yeah,
one's a girl, one's a boy. It's a different horse. Is Quinalita your San Carlo, by the way? You've been on right from the very start, virtually.
Getting close. Yeah, getting close. Maybe not. You know, that was a different type of love with yours with San Carlo, wasn't it? So, but yeah, she's up there with my favourites, that's for sure.
I don't know what she's inferring there anyway. The third question of the burning questions, also sponsored, would you believe, by Hip Pocket Workwear and Safety, as worn by Nikkita Skeeter Ross. And we'll start with you, Skeeter. Will some new invaders change the claiming space this week, or does Soletics just confirm that he's the claiming freak? I've written in the forum comment, Josh Jenkins, just giving us a wave there. Big news about Soho Tribeca coming back. He dropped. Big Sam Edmund move from him on in track last time. Yes, Soletic. What do you reckon is going to happen here? I mentioned in the forum comment that it's almost like a reality TV show where it's become too established for these claimers, so they've brought in the intruders. And they include Julie Chevy and Sicario and Reactor. Now, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, he can. We saw him win with John Calder over the short trip at Melton 3 starts ago. Was good there, but I think it's tougher this week. I think over the short, we know how he races, goes back and comes with one run. So he's going to need some speed on early, a few things to go his way, but he's really made these claiming races his own, hasn't he? I actually thought the stablemate, who Josh has interestingly gone with, chosen to drive Reactor Now. We know he's very good in front, so potentially they press the button there and try and get to the top with him. But look, low confidence race for me. Soletic, yes, but needs a few things to go his way.
Andy, you've gone with some different branding today. EA7, I don't know what that is. If you can explain that, that'd be fantastic. But also, you can lead me right out of Reactor Now. I think Sicario probably leads. And I actually think the extra speed is going to help Soletic, so I've rated him on top. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Soletic's the one to beat. We know he's the way he races. You go back early and always needs a little bit of speed on, but there's been times the speed still hasn't been on and he's still been able to get the job done, especially over the short distance. Yeah, a couple of new ones in it. Some of them are first up, Jill Chevy, and, Sicario's already been in one of these, I think. So, yeah, I still think he's the one to beat Soletic. He loves these races and he generally dominates, even though he needs things to go his way. He just motors that last 100 metres, and I think he's top pick.
Before we get into your answer, I'd like to know what room we're in today, Kez, and that's a picture of Great Western plot of land. Oh, wait, talk to it. Talk us through it.
I'm just in the lounge room. Yeah, that's just an aerial shot of the place before everything was built, basically. So it's about 2004, that photo. So yeah.
Welcome back to Better Homes, Gardens and Burning Questions here. It's terrific to have Kerryn Manning joining us. What are your thoughts here with the claimer, Kez?
Yeah, I think obviously Soletic's going to be the one to beat. I think Sicario, he's had 3 runs back now and they've all been great runs. I reckon he might be getting to the top of his game and I reckon he's a chance of knocking him off this week.
Now tell us, before we get to the final burning question, race 1, first up from a breakout classy Reactor.
Yeah, he's working really well. He's a bit of not a great racehorse. He gets a bit keen, so he's going to be in a bit of trouble from the draw, I think. But yeah, I think he's would need to run a little bit. Probably can't win.
And the Kingsman in the last?
He's got plenty of talent. Not a good racehorse either, but it's not a bad little field for him. If he gets a bit of luck, he'll be thereabouts.
All right. Yeah, it's a bit like me. Plenty of talent, not a great racehorse. To now that smarter rivals are returning from a spell, can Triple Eight find transit trouble and go just as well? Andy, I can't see him getting beaten. I think those drawn outside of him have probably got to go back and he'll just win again. But is somebody going to have a little dip here?
Yeah, I don't think Supreme Dominator will go forward first up, and like a wildfire, they generally do drive him off the pace as well, being first up as well. So you think Triple Eight probably roll to the lead again. He's going, we know how good he's going. He sort of had economical runs both times, but he's been very superior, winning those races. I'm not sure he's $1.30 chance, not with like a wildfire in the race. It's probably the only one that can sort of beat him, but he's probably not going to map that great. So, yeah, he's definitely the one to beat. But, I thought he's probably more $1.50 chance, just, with the better class horses in the race that he has been racing against.
Kez, here's a weird question that's been going through my very tiny mind. He's had such easy wins, and he looks like he's going to get a relatively easy win again, and he's not far away from going to Queensland. Now, you want relatively easy wins, but is it going to leave him slightly soft when he goes to Queensland? Is it better for him to have at least one hard race, or is this just the perfect preparation for Triple Eight at the moment?
I think it's pretty good for him. He's certainly, Greg gets him pretty fit at home with his track there, and I don't think it's a harm to not be, have hard runs. And I think he should win again this one, and a bit better field. He might have a bit of a harder run this time, but yeah, he's a bit the class above.
It's all Jess. Is like Greg's never even seen. Honestly, he's never even seen the horse. He doesn't even know which one it is at home. Skeeter, thoughts? Triple Eight.
He has had a perfect preparation, hasn't he? With the 2 wins, they've been dominant, and it's worked out nicely for him. But he really just looks like he has gone to a new level, and I think he should be winning again this weekend. Like a wildfire, he's a quality horse. They've had an opinion of him for a long time, and we have seen some terrific runs from him. But as Andy mentioned, even though Triple Eight isn't known for his gate speed, neither is Like a Wildfire, really. So just how it works out, I think Triple Eight has the advantage, and it's going to be awfully hard to beat.
All right, it's time for best bets in what will be the most viewed and consumed burning questions of all time. Skeeter, starting with you.
Yeah, I'm going with Nephew of Sunoco this week. I just think this is his race. I think he can get to the pegs. I think the horses inside him will probably be happy to take a sit. He can keep Ultimate Stride outside of him, and I think from there he should be able to beat him. He's just absolutely flying at Nephew of Sunoco. So he goes in as my best bet this week.
Kez, before we get to your best, I just want to know, because I am technologically problematic. Did you set this up today? Did Grant set this up? Like, who is the technology person in the house?
I did, but I must have. I had to ring Skit because I had a bit of trouble, but not as much as you.
Well, you don't want to have as much trouble as me, I promise you, in any area of life. Kez, what's your best on the program?
I do like Sicariot. Yeah, he's just working up to win, I think. I did have a bit of a roughie. Cherokee Joe, I reckon he's a nice horse. So I think each way him.
Now I have to kill Bamboo because I'm going with Spring in His Step as my best in exactly the same race. There's a few shorties here. I think your old mate Andy, Lord Verde, the green horse, the Green Lord will win the last race, but I think they'll all be too short. Queen Elita and Triple Eight. So I'm going with Spring in His Step. Andy Gath, EA7. Talk us through it. What's the best?
Well, I've been going pretty ordinary with my best bets, as we all know, lately, and
Good self-evaluation.
Yes, been very disappointing lately. So I have to myself with someone at a pretty good price. And I don't know why he doesn't work any good, but I'm going Thomas Heights each way. I just think there'll be a bit of speed on, and I just think he's quite a quality horse, and you've given him no hope, which gives me confidence. So Thomas Heights each way for me.
I've given him a small hope. I'm just looking, have I got a best bet in that race all shook up? Because that's the last time Thomas Heights won, just so you could make me... No, it's not in the race. Maybe he can still win.
Can I butt in?
Yes?
So I wrote Thomas Heights each way with a question mark too, so I'm with Andy there.
Can you please, for the benefit of everyone that loves Kerryn Manning, please show us that entire note? I just want to have a look at the note on the camera.
It's pretty scrappy. It's
that is.
I didn't have much time.
You could literally sell that on eBay for like, I reckon, $2,000 or $3,000. Send it to me.
First person unprepared on the show.
I'll get your halves if you can sell it for that.
It'd be very easy. Kez, that wasn't so nasty, was it?
No, I'm okay. I've survived. Yep. You've been very nice.
You've done an outstanding job, Andy. You've been wonderful as always. Skeeter, you're a legend, and well done for wearing the hip pocket workwear and safety apparel. We'll have new sponsors next week, but they have to pay through the absolute nostrils. That's been Burning Questions. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and if you want to watch 3 or 4 times because Kez is on and because you get to see her notebook, please do, because it only helps. That only means we're going to get paid more. That's been Burning Questions. Enjoy. Hopefully we found you some winners for the weekend.